here in the Duluth area. I lived there for a few years. Back in the late 80s, early 90s. I enjoyed living out there. It's a good time of my life. That's why I met Patty. This never happened to me. I think that's the Amazon building out toward Erie. Which would mean we are still west of Morgan Park. You want me to come up alongside or what? Yeah, I know. I shouldn't say I know. I actually said on camera, I think that's the Amazon building. So thank you for clarifying that is the Amazon building. Yeah. I haven't been recording from the beginning, but I've been recording for a long time. Yeah. Thankfully, long ago, a railroad company faltered, and this got to become a paved trail for walking and bicycling. I think there's sections of it. If it's snowmobile on too, I think. Because I noticed the snowmobile club was right off of it. Ways back. A little closer to the Buffalo House. And if I haven't mentioned it before, the Buffalo House has very good food. Neat place. If anybody wants to come and visit Pat and I, well, you can pack up your camper behind your vehicle, come visit Pat and I, and then go stay at the Buffalo House camper, because that's a really nice camper too. See, I don't have water and sewer hookup at Molly, so in other words, you're not welcome. Okay. Confusing, it's because you probably don't know that we call our house Molly. It's actually Molly on the Midway. You can Google that. But don't. Oh, there's Molly on the Midway campground. No. Buffalo House campground. Great place. Wonderful food. Lots to do there. A great send-off point for the Munger Trail. Got a big parking area there just dedicated for people who want to come and ride this or walk it. As we speak, Patty's mom, Noreen, is actually walking the trail behind us. And that's pretty amazing. At 87 years old, she's still out exercising, walking at least 5 miles a day. When I left my hometown, Grand Marais, I hung up my skis and figured I'd never look at them again. It's something I did in high school, and I met Patty. So we've been skiing and bicycling and slowly wearing me out ever since. She's a spring chicken. She just turned 57. Hi. So now instead of 4 years, I got 3 years on her. be it's getting near the zoo, would be my guess. Near the Duluth Zoo. Hi. I moved down here in 1986, and all the years I lived here, I only found out this trail existed maybe 10 years ago. When I found out this trail existed, I really wanted an e-bike, because Patty likes to ride her bicycle around the development. I can't ride like she does. So, long story short, a few years ago I sold my motorcycle, and a couple of months ago Patty surprised me with an e-bike, this German Pioneer Plus, which is built for off-road and hunting. Got the big fat 4-inch wide tires on it. It's got 2 batteries, 750 watt. Thing will fly. It'll go. But what's funny about it is, the only time this bike's ever going to be off-road is when I accidentally go off the side of this paved trail. I imagine it'll last a while. But anyway, so I couldn't believe how fun this thing was. And Patty was still riding her 20-some-year-old Walmart special mountain bike. She paid like $67 for it, back in like 02 or something. And she was going to ride that, I was going to ride this. This thing is so dang fun. So one day I told her, I said, let's just go look at e-bikes for you. No, we don't want to spend money. Let's just go look. Went to several different places. Ended up down at, of all places, Ski Hut Adventure Center, which the reason I'm laughing about that is because I've been buying my downhill ski equipment. Patty has too for years from them. They're phenomenal. Great place to buy your equipment. So we get down there, told them, we're not buying anything, we're just looking. I've never seen better salespeople in my life. Very helpful. They couldn't get bikes out of that place fast enough for Patty to ride and try, see which one she liked. Anyway, so she fell in love with that Troxus LT. Hi there. Hi there. She came back after riding that one. I think it was the 6th or 7th one she'd ridden that day, and she said, "You're buying me this bike today." And I said, "Do I have the money to buy you that bike today?" She said, "Yeah, you have the money to buy me this bike today." So I said, "I guess I'm buying you that bike today." And that's how Patty got her favorite bicycle she's ever owned. It's an e-bike. And the whole time you've been watching her, she has not had the power on once. She says it pedals better than, no, go figure, better than her old Walmart special. You guys. Hi there. So we're not near the zoo, as I suspected, because we're not even to Smithville yet, or Riverside. But those are coming up. Getting close to them. We left the house today. I noticed that Patty's battery was at only 40%. And I think realistically, with a full battery, if you had it on all the time, really relied on the electric part of it, you'd probably be lucky to get 20 miles. Lucky to get 20 miles on an e-bike, riding them that way. But as I said, we try and ride them without the power as much as possible. I definitely use my power a lot more than Patty does. But I noticed hers was at 40%. This will probably be somewhere close to a 10-mile round trip bike ride today. And again, at 40%, that's not much battery left. So I said to Patty, Patty, I said, I don't know if we should do this today because you're only at 40% battery. She said, I'm not worried about it. I'm not going to use my power anyway.